Yo, 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 it's your boy PRO, aka Unprocedural, with another Division 2 video. I'm excited for this one, and I hope you are too. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, the specialization that we're using is the sharpshooter, and that's pretty obvious for a sniper build because we want to stack that headshot damage. And right here we get 15% increased headshot damage for our marksman rifle, which is probably not seeming like a lot, but it definitely does do the job once it's stacked up and you get up to 300% or even more than that. Not only that, but you get 15% increased weapon stability, reduced recoil, and faster reacquisition of targets. This right here is actually really good in PvP, especially in conflict, because the tactician drone scouts and marks hostile targets, feeding them to the agent and other allies, HUD, which means that if I were to drop this in a conflict map, I could send it into the middle of the map and have it way high above, so I could locate the other team constantly. And keep in mind that your whole team can see them as well. It's basically like a pulse that's just ongoing, and it comes with sharpshooter, and this is what we're also using in this build. Another thing is all group members that are closer to enemies that you get on 10% headshot damage, so that's also a really good thing for group play. But yeah, that is why we are using sharpshooter. Just remember to obviously spec into a marksman rifle if you're using one, which I didn't even do here, but I should probably do that. Alright, so now for the build. So the sniper or the marksman rifle that we're using is the Nemesis. Now, why am I using the Nemesis? Well, first of all, plus 110% headshot damage is insane. And the second thing is the talent, Electromagnetic Accelerator. Shots fired deal 0 to 100% weapon damage based on how long the trigger is held before releasing. This is honestly really good because having 2 blues on this build and this talent, it still allows you to one-shot people regardless of how much armor they have. You could see from the gameplay that I was hitting for a lot, way more than you need. So maybe I could even have 3 blues if possible, but I just want to sustain that damage because I feel like I'm already going to be playing so far back, so why not spec into damage. Now the combination that we have here is 2 pieces of Aces and 8 and 2 pieces Heraldry, in addition with 2-piece Foundry Bulwark, which makes her full build. I'm going to start with the Bulwark. So I'm using Bulwark because here's the thing with all the status builds and Eclipse, Fire, Seekers and all that bullshit, you need to have at least 1.1 mil armor so you have time to even pop that armor kit if you get targeted by any of those. And that's why you go with Bulwark, because what other thing will get, as a 2-piece, will give you plus 10% total armor? I mean, it's like a freebie in my opinion. Just get an easy 1.1 million armor with 2-piece Bulwark. So this is why I'm using this. And using Heraldry because of the 10% increased marksman rifle damage and the 15% headshot damage. Like I said, you want to spec into headshot damage because that is all you're aiming for, and that is how you one-shot everyone. For Aces and 8s, we're using the 2-piece because of the increased marksman rifle damage to hit even harder. So that is why I'm using that, but I feel like you may be able to use something else than other than this, and if you have any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. Now, what do you want to roll is the main question. You want to roll 2 blues, which is going to be your 2 bulwark pieces, and then you want to roll reds on everything else. And as the attributes, you want to roll headshot damage, because headshot damage is, you want to be targeting yourself to get as close to 300% as possible, because once you reach 300%, you'll be guaranteeing one-shotting anyone in the head. Doesn't matter how much armor they have, even if it's unbreakable. The talent unbreakable. For the talent that we're using is perfect focus. Now this in TU11 works with a shit ton of things, including the bighorn, so feel free to try that out as well. But this is really the reason how, you know, we are one-shotting with 1.1 million armor with the Nemesis. Increases total weapon damage by 6% every second when you are aiming, while scoped 8 times or higher, up to 60%. And it requires a scope with 8 times magnification or higher, and the Nemesis comes with that, so it works even in TU11. The backpack. Now, if you think you're gonna be way far back and not getting shot at, easily go with vigilance. But for me, I'm gonna go with composure because of the fact that I get shot at, you know, a few times and I'm able to recover, and I still have that damage all throughout the way to, you know, redeem myself. So I don't want to lose that. So any sort of additional damage will always help me. This also kind of makes up for losing one slot where it's rolled with armor, because it gives you 15%, and that's what you would have rolled here as a red instead of 127k armor. So it's basically like you only rolled 1 blue if you think about it, and that's what really makes this talent good for this build, or any sniper build in general. Now for the mods on everything, you want to put on headshot damage. This is my second character, so I don't really have high mods, but to be honest, even with these terrible rolls, I'm still hitting with one-shotting, I mean, which is absolutely crazy. Check the skills out. Like I said earlier, this drone right here is really what sets it off, man. This tactician drone that comes with the sharpshooter perk, or the sharpshooter specialist, is a must use for this build. You know, you throw it out, you're able to scan all the enemies, so you know where they're coming from, which wall they're coming from, and all that, and it's constantly pulsing them, so you'll never lose sight as long as you place it in a proper area. And this right here, a cluster seeker mine, is so when I snipe someone and they're pretty far back, I just throw it out and, you know, it finishes them while they're downed. So it's highly recommended to use, but I'll leave that option to you guys if you want. That's just my personal preference. Let's check the stats real quick. 289. So I'm at 290% headshot damage and I'm still one-shotting, so I would say just try to be around this range and should be good. I'll say 285 to 280. But other than that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that build. It's definitely a must try for those of you who want to really challenge yourself, challenge your aiming, challenge your skill level. Really try it out. I'm your boy on Procedural, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.